All right, in this video, I'm going to tell you how and why I was expelled from school. Now, on top of that, there are some lessons I learned when I got expelled from school, which I'm going to teach you. So this isn't only going to be a story about how I got to the place I am now, because that is quite an entertaining story, but there are lessons along the way which I learned, which I'm going to teach you so that hopefully throughout your life, you don't make the same mistakes, and instead you can just lift off the back of me and learn them without going through the trials and tribulations, both financial and life in general. So, this video won't be too long either. I know my videos are getting a bit long. We're going to try and fix that. So, 6 swole years ago, I was expelled from school. Now, the school I went to, I want to make this very clear, was not a shit school. I may have made every penny off my own back, which is true, but I didn't come from a fucking shanty town, okay? I did go through private education. Now, that was all thanks to the fortunate demeanor of my grandparents. They put me through a very nice school, and at the time, I was also trying to be a professional golfer, so I did get some remuneration when it came to joining schools, because I get discounts so that I could play for their school, etc., etc. But I went to a private school. It was also a boarding school, and so I basically never saw my family. Reasons which I may tell in another story. But I was living at school. That's what boarding means. You go to the school and you live there, okay? I turned up, and I think it was about September the 4th, 2017, and on May 11th, 2018, I was kicked out for reasons you're about to find out. Now, before I go, I want to make this very clear. This is, without question, the most pivotal point and moment in my life, I would probably say. And the reason for that is because after I got kicked out of this school, the next 6 years of my life really opened my eyes to what the world really is and allowed me to step into the real world and understand exactly how things work, how the cogs turn, how everything's a fucking lie, and ultimately I couldn't be more happy that I got kicked out, okay? So, to set the scene. There is a way that this works. Now, if you've never been expelled from school, let me tell you how it works. You don't just get expelled from school. It takes a little bit of doing to get there. Now, obviously, if you fucking, fuck a teacher or kill someone, yeah, you're gonna get expelled. But I wasn't that bad. The way it usually works is these incremental fuck-ups, which end up in turning into one massive fuck-up, and then you get kicked out, right? So, from the moment I turned up to this school, I'd just been kicked out my last one, another story. I turned up to this school, and I had one intention in mind, and that was to have as much fun as possible. I was playing golf. I barely went to class. I wanted to fuck all the girls. I was 17. I was almost 18. I was basically in the fucking prime of my testosterone years. I was ready to just have fun all the time. And through the duration of those 8 months I was at that school, that's basically all I did. I played golf. I barely showed up to lessons, and that was my intention. And I dated hot girls. I'll throw up a picture. I was crazy. I had no intention whatsoever of actually going to class and doing anything good, because ultimately I was going to be a big golfer, I was going to make loads of money, I was going to fucking jet around, go on tour and play competitions and be a millionaire, etc., etc. Obviously we know how that turned out, but that was my aim, okay? Now, the way this worked was as follows. I turned up to this school as a new person. I hated who I was at my old school, and so I wanted to not change who I was, but certainly reinvent my entire persona and give a new perspective on the world to who I was at my old school. So I turned up, didn't give a fuck about school, already knew, even though my grandparents were paying about 18 grand a month to fucking send me here, didn't give a fuck about school, wanted to have a good time, didn't fucking go to lessons, etc., etc. Now, what happened over the duration of that time is, if you don't turn up to lessons and you backchat teachers and you just do dumb shit, what happened to me was loads of detentions. Now, the way this worked was, you get 1 detention, you're fine. You get 5, probably not good. You get 10, you're in shit. If you get 18 detentions in a single month, you get suspended. Now, in order to get expelled, you need to get 3 suspensions. So, who the fuck is messaging me? Fuck off. Now, to get an expulsion takes 3 suspensions. My first suspension came from 22 detentions in a single month. Now, the way that works is you go to class, you backchat the teacher because they're obviously stupid. They give you detention, you go to detention. I did that for about 2 months straight. Now, after that, you get suspended. You hit a certain number of detentions, boom, out of nowhere, here you go, you're not coming back for 3 days, fuck off. I have to go and stay at my aunt's because my grandparents are away, my parents couldn't take me, etc., etc. Boom, suspension number 1. Now, The suspension number 2 came pretty similarly, but a lot more elusively. I came back from my first suspension and my grandparents had told me, look, you need to be more behaved. I know you don't like school. I know you don't have any intention of doing your work. I know that you don't want to be an academic scholar, but so that we're not just throwing our money down the fucking drain, if you could just be like not a dickhead in class, that would mean a lot to us. Now, I came back from suspension. This was around March time. And out of nowhere, for some reason, it was like this sixth form night where, you go to fucking sixth form, you have like these drinks and shit. I caught myself in this dare game. Like odds on. If you're British, you'll know this. It was like an odds on where someone will give you a dare, you say 1 to 10. If they say the same number as you, you have to do the dare. If you don't, you're a pussy. No one wants to be friends with you. You're a dickhead. Anyway, it was 1 to 5. I lost the dare. Our school had a swimming pool. I was dared to jump into the swimming pool. I should have a picture of that. So anyway, because I ain't a bitch, I jumped into the swimming pool. Lifeguard told the guy in charge. The guy in charge told the heads. The heads fucking told me to fuck off again. I got suspended again. That's my second suspension. Now, I'm on my last life here. So I got suspended once for having too many detentions. I got suspended twice for jumping in a swimming pool in all my clothes while there was a class going on. And this isn't to fucking look cool or anything. It's just, I need to give you some context on how exactly I was acting at that age, okay? I know you see me now, and maybe I look like I'm doing all right, but back then, I was a complete dickhead. I do not endorse any of the actions I did back then, and I don't endorse you to do them. I don't endorse you to be a dickhead at school. Yeah, everything they're teaching you is complete bollocks, but understand, you shouldn't be a dickhead, okay? It's important to have some standards around people, and I had none of that. Anyway, around this time, it was around April. And after my second suspension, the school was prepared to expel me. I'd been kicked out of my classes, so I wasn't even welcome to go to class. All my friends had classes, and so I had no one to fucking talk to when I was doing no class. And the school told me, if you're not in some sort of education, or you're not doing something practical, or you're not doing something which is gonna help you in some way evolve as a human being through the educational realm, you're not welcome to come back. So, I came back from that second suspension, and instead of going to class, I started working, which some of you may know, my first job, which was a conservation worker at a golf club. Shithole. Fucking raking leaves and shit, watching old people play golf and telling them how they are while they spit on the floor and I have to like fucking clean it up and shit. It was awful, okay? I did that for about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. And then one day, due to a celebration that the school was holding, I think it was an anniversary, it might have been the 85th anniversary of the school, there was a firework event. Now, the way these things work is, because it's a private school, loads of money is put into the school, loads of important people go there, blah, 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 blah. They have these events, and the events aren't just, wow, it's not like a parents' evening or a fucking fundraiser. This is a proper event where parents come up and wear ties and suits, and all the governors on the board of the school that make the decisions come, and the headmaster's there, and his wife's there, and other headmasters of other private schools are there. We came to this big firework display to celebrate, the whatever it was, the 85th anniversary of my school. Anyway, so it was held on one of the rugby pitches. So the rugby pitch was here, the fireworks were all there. There was a big fucking line, like a net, to stop people going over. And that's where everyone would watch the fireworks from. Now, in the back there was also stalls and shit. You could buy food, get like mulled wine and shit. It was really weird. Anyway, at about 6 p.m. this kicked off. I remember this vividly. It was just about sunset. 6 p.m. this kicked off. And there's thousands of fucking people. Imagine there's thousands of people lined up in basically a 100-meter line behind this rope. And then 100 meters in front of you was all these fireworks on a rugby pitch. And it's just about sunset. Anyway, me on my second suspension, second one, after already being threatened to get kicked out of school, was sitting there, and due to my obnoxious nature, I'm quite bored all the time. I didn't want to fucking sit around and do nothing. So with some of the kids that were older than me, because I wasn't the oldest there, we started playing, yet again, odds on. Talk about learning from your mistakes, fucking hell. Anyway, so we're sat in this line, maybe I'm like 2 or 3 people behind the rope. And the guy in front of me turns around and says, yo, what's up, Tom? What's up, Ian? etc., etc. How are you? I'm good, yeah. What are you up to? Nothing much. Super bored. You bored? Yeah, I'm bored as fuck too. Odds on. And one of the girls, I don't have female friends nowadays, but one of the girls I was friends with back then pulls my arm and she's like, no, don't do it. And I was like, no, it'll be fine, don't worry about it. And she's like, no, don't do it. I know how these things go. You're too susceptible to this. You're gonna get fucked. I was like, bitch, shut up. I'm like 4 mulled wines deep now. And when I was 17, my tolerance was lower than, fucking English girl standards. It was down here, okay? So I was kind of loopy off mulled wine. And this guy says, yeah, odds on. What, you pussy? You bitch? And obviously I ain't no bitch. Or at least back then. Now I'm a bit more careful. But he was like, odds on, 1 to 10. And so I was like, okay, bet. 1 to 10, 7. We both say 7. I'm like, fuck. Again? Really? Anyway, we both say 7. And as we do this, I kid you not, probably about 30 seconds after, as he's thinking of the dare to give me on how to humiliate myself and probably get myself expelled, spoiler alert, the fireworks start going off. All right, so in the background, the fireworks start going off. It's kind of dark now, about 100 meters away, right behind us, these fireworks are going off. And it's really busy now. Everyone's standing here. The headmaster, his wife, all the governors on the board, all the parents, all the students, all the people from other schools that have come in the general vicinity of my school. We're all fucking standing here, lined up, watching these fireworks, all drunk on mulled wine, having a good time. Anyway, after about 45 seconds of this going on, the guy turns to me and he says, I know what I want you to do. I'm like, okay, what? He says, you're going to run into the fireworks. And, I mean, long story short, I look at him and I genuinely looked into his eyes with almost, I wouldn't say peril, but I was like, dude, I've been suspended twice. I can't do this. It's too public. Pick something else. I'll do anything else. I'll go up to anyone and say anything. I can't do that. Anyway, he's like, no, this is what I've decided. You're going to do it. Now, because I had no honor back then, because I had no backbone, I was 17, okay? I was an idiot. Don't think I'm not a fucking idiot now, but I was completely spineless back then. And so I was like, okay, fuck it, right. So I meander through some people. There's like a mum here and a fucking woman in a wheelchair here, push her over, get her out of the way, walk up. I'm at the rope. So the rope's like probably, I was a bit shorter back then, probably up to about my nipples, right? Middle of my chest. And I'm holding onto this rope and the fireworks are going off. And the guy behind me, he's kind of egging me on. He's like pushing my traps. He's like, come on, do it. And I'm holding onto this rope and I'm like, fuck. It's kind of dark now, by the way. It's not like sunset. It's pretty damn dark right now. The only illumination is the fireworks. As I'm sitting there, I'm just like fucking grabbing on. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go under. I'm going to run. I'm going to do it. And he's pushing me and the fireworks are going off and it's dark and my adrenaline's pumping and everyone's around me and they're all cheering. I'm like, okay, I can do this. Anyway, after about a minute of doing that, I don't know what you say when you're about to do something dumb. For me, it's YOLO. I was like, fuck it, YOLO. You only live once, obviously. I'm like, okay, fuck it, YOLO. I throw this over my head and I dart forward. Now, to put this in perspective, if the line was here, roughly, you might not be able to see this on screen, but if the line was here where the rope was and everyone was standing here, the fireworks were literally 100 meters in front of me. So I dart under this thing and I'm running as fast as I can. I remember I was wearing some fucking Nike running shoes and this black jacket. I might have a picture of the night it happened. I was wearing a black jacket and a white top and these like running shoes. I was running straight into these fucking fireworks. And as I'm running, out the corner of my eye, I kid you not, I see this fucking light turn on. Now, bro, when you've got this much adrenaline, you don't even see anything. It's just tunnel vision. All I see is fireworks. So I run about 60 meters, and after about 60 meters, I can hear them like, oh, what's he doing? I see this light out the corner of my eye. And I turn for maybe half a second, because there are like fireworks about to be going off all around me, because I'm almost at the fireworks. Out the corner of my eye, I see this light go off, and I turn around, and it's a fucking dune buggy. You know like those things you drive around in Dubai in the sand dunes? I turn my head and one of those whacks its lights on. Boom, illuminates me. I'm like a deer in the road. Anyway, so he turns his lights on. I'm like, oh shit. So I get to about 85 meters. Literally, like the fireworks are there. Like right fucking there. They're like literally going off around me. He turns his headlights on and so I'm like, fuck this. I dart left and we were standing like right at the end. So if the line of people was here, I was all the way up here, all the way at the right-hand side. So the dune buggy was here, I was here, And then the rest of the people, all the governors, headmaster, parents, students, etc., were all here. Now, I couldn't run right because he was there. So I had to run left. And I couldn't run forward because I would have died because there was fucking fireworks coming out of the floor and shit. So I dart left, and for about 80 meters, I'm sprinting past everyone. Every fucking person literally can see me because I'm being illuminated by this thing as well. Anyway, so I run as fast as I can across every single person. And to the left of me, because the school's like huge, etc., there's like these little bit of woods, like there's a couple of trees, etc. I was like, brilliant, I'll run into there, I'll lose the doom buggy, and then I'll whip around the school. Anyway, so I run into these fucking woods, and I hide behind a tree, and I can hear him coming. Please understand, when you are running in the dark, full of adrenaline, and you know you're fucked, if you get caught, you're screwed, and you can hear the fucking, what is it, a V4, V6 motor on tracks coming for you with the headlights going on at full speed. I was shitting myself. Anyway, so I'm running into these woods. I hide behind a tree. I can see the headlights coming around and shit. I'm like, fuck, don't move, don't move, don't move. And I was wearing black jeans and a black jacket, so I thought, it's okay. I'm basically camouflaged. Can't see me. Anyway, so he goes past. I'm like, brilliant. And then the car stops and the light turns off. The doom buggy, for some reason, he got out. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to sneak around, go around, and then I'll whip around the entire school, because it was huge. I'll whip around the entire school, come back into the crowd. No one will know it was me, and I'll be fine. So I'm standing behind this tree, and I'm like jumping between trees to try and get out. Like, okay, go to this tree, stop, see where he is, can't see him. Go to this tree, I'm safe. Go to this tree, I'm safe. Anyway, after about 3 of these tree jumps, full on monkey mode, I turn around this one tree, and this fucking 6'4" lumberjack of a dude is just like there. I turn, bang, in his fucking big overall jacket. And I'm like, oh fuck. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I got pushed. Some absolute pathetic excuse. By the way, don't lie. Lying is super fucking gay. But at the time, I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I got pushed. It wasn't my fault. Anyway, he goes, right, I'm gonna have to take you in. I was like, please, I'm begging you. What's your name? And he was like, I think it was Jonathan, something like that. I was like, what's your name? Please, bro, please. I'm up shit creek. I can't get caught. I got pushed, I promise. He was like, what? I was like, what's your name? He was like, John. He was like, John, I'm begging you, please. You will be my saint if you just let this go and say you couldn't find me. And he's like, okay, fine, but what's your name? And I don't know why I did this. To this day, I don't know why I did this. But instead of coming up with some random fucking name, within a second of him asking my name, I said, Tom. My name's Tom, okay? Can we mutually agree that I'm fine, you're fine, I know your name, you know mine, let me go, my name's Tom, okay? He says, all right, mate, get the fuck out of here. I loop around the school, I come back to the ground. This girl that I was friends with wanted to fuck me. She was ugly as fuck. Came up to me, said, oh my God, what did you do? Why did you do that? And she was like fucking pulling my jacket and shit. Why'd you do that? I was like, it's fine, no one saw me. I was in black. I ran into the woods, the guy didn't catch me, it was all good. I whipped around the school, no one cared, it was all good. The fireworks was still going off, everything was fine. Anyway, I go home later that night, go to bed, blah, 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 blah. Everyone's talking about it. Who was that? Oh my God, that was crazy. Who the fuck did that? Everyone's kind of looking at me and I'm just like on my phone. I'm so fucking quiet. Anyway, I go to bed super early. 4 days later, just before dinner. So we have dinner, we have like group dinner, etc. 4 days after that, I'm playing football outside. So I'm playing football, there's like football courts, there's rugby pitches, and then there's football pitches. Just before dinner, all the boarders, people that stay there, were playing football. I'm playing football with my guys. And the guy, not the headmaster of my house, not the guy that runs the house, but like the bitch version, the guy that helps run the house, he's walking up to me. I can see him from like 50 meters away. I'm like, okay, he's walking up, he's coming through all these people, there's like footballs going everywhere. He's clearly here to tell one of us that one of us has done something wrong. Anyway, I'm pretending to not see him, I'm pretending to just play football. Anyway, he calls my name. Beanham, come here. I'm like, okay, yeah, what is it? He says, you need to come with me. I was like, it's been 4 days now. So it can't be that. Because if it was that, they would have fucking figured it out by now and I would have been gone. So I was kind of feeling pretty confident. Even though in this midst of footballers, the fucking guys walked all the way to ask for my name specifically, I was kind of thinking to myself, it's been too long. There's no way it's about that. It's probably about something else. Maybe I don't know, I broke some girl's heart, or I missed a detention. I did something, they didn't get me on this. I did something else. Sure as fuck wasn't telling me I was a good student, I'll tell you that. So he walks me back. He takes me into the house. He takes me up the stairs, not even into the common room, because that's usually where you get beat down. He takes me up the stairs, takes me to my room, says, open the door. I open the door. I sit down. He sits on one bed. I sit on the other. And he says, right, we know what happened the other day. You need to go home for a few days. And so I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay, I'm like, you sure? Only a few days? He's like, yeah, I spoke to, I'm not going to say his name. Let's just call him Adrian. I spoke to Adrian. He's away right now, so he's asked me to tell you, but you need to go home for a few days. I've called your aunt. My grandparents are away. My parents can come and get me. I've called your aunt. She's coming to pick you up. She'll be here in an hour. I was like, but you sure it's only for a few days? He said, that's what I've been told, yes. Okay. Now, what you need to know about most people is that they're absolute fucking cowards. And in this case, a few days turned into forever, okay? Anyway, so he tells me to go home. My aunt picks me up. Before my aunt picks me up, I had a girlfriend at the time. I messaged her, look, I need to see you quickly. She was fucking having coffee or something. I said, meet me now, not now. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. Meet me now. Because at the back of my head, I was like, she was from Germany. So I was like, if I don't fucking say goodbye, I'm never, ever seeing her again. Because I couldn't drive. She lived in fucking Germany. She was only here because she was a boarder too. See me now. I was like, okay, look, I need to go away for a few days. I think I'm getting suspended. It's fine. She looked at me and she was like, are you sure? You're only getting suspended? I was like, yeah, it's going to be fine, baby. Don't worry. I've got it on lock. It's covered. Relax. But I just thought I'd let you know. I'm going to be gone for a few days. I'll be back on Monday. Okay? She was like, okay. Bye. Message me when you're all right. I was like, okay, no worries. Bang. Turn around, give her a kiss, give her a hug. Bye. Aunt comes, drives me home. Grandparents come back the next day. They pick me up from my aunt. I go home. Nothing happens for a day. I'm really fucking confused. Why am I home? They haven't spoken to me. Something's up. This ain't good. I don't know why no one's speaking to me, but it ain't fucking good. Anyway, one day, I think it was like 2 days after this, I sit down for dinner. We finish dinner. My grandpa goes, he takes the plates away, he goes, and he comes back. And as I'm just talking to my nan, slams down a piece of paper in front of me. I mean, fucking his wedding ring almost broke. Bang! And I look at it, and it's got my fucking school emblem in the top left. And it was a letter to say, basically, I'll abbreviate, but it said, dear Mr. and Mrs. Beanham, we are unfortunate to inform you that Tom is no longer welcome at our institution and from now henceforth will not be welcome to receive educational, whatever. You are allowed to appeal this, but he is no longer welcome to come back to our school, blah, 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 blah. Basically a polite way of saying, you're getting expelled, you're never coming back. Now, I read it, I was like, okay, well, I did kind of see this coming. My nan was kind of looking at me, my grandpa was looking at me, and I was like, okay, look, we can appeal it, don't worry. Anyway, we appealed it. They said no. I was like, fuck. And the reason they let you appeal it is for one or two reasons. And I'll actually give them some credit for this. When you get expelled, understand this. You either get expelled or you get asked to leave. And if you get asked to leave, it doesn't show up on your record. So if I wanted to go to another school, it wouldn't show up, oh yeah, Tom got expelled from his last school. It would just say, I left for amicable reasons. We decided to part ways with the school, blah, 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 blah. But I thought, nah, fuck this. I'm going to appeal. You have no proof. Anyway, we sent them a letter back, said, no, this is complete crap. We want to go back to the school. Fuck you. I'm coming back. Anyway, after another couple of messages, turns out the guy which I saw in the woods, who I told my name to like an idiot, told my head of sixth form, who told the headmaster my name was Tom. They put two and two together. Who the fuck else would it be? There was only 2 Toms in my year. The other one was a goody two-shoes prick. Obviously it was me. They were like, we know it was you. You're done. You're not coming back. You have been expelled. You forced our hand. Goodbye. And that's it. I got expelled. I was no longer welcome back. Okay? Now, 3 lessons I took from that. Because not many of you have been expelled. Not many. Maybe some of you have, but not many of you have. What I've learned since getting expelled from school has been quite a harsh reality. Not that it's been a bad reality, but certainly a harsh one. And I've distilled it to 3 lessons. First, and this is a financial lesson, I already knew that going to school was bullshit if you wanted to make loads of money, but this confirmed it. Please understand, I did my due diligence about 2 weeks ago. I am the most successful person to walk out of that school. Trust me, I went over all the LinkedIn pages. I've seen what my old classmates are up to. I am the most successful person to walk out of that school. Now, that isn't to brag. It's more like to piss you off, because everything they were teaching people has led them to where they are now. And I was expelled from that school, meaning I wasn't able to get the resources they were teaching other people. I had to learn my own resources to get to where I am now, meaning that where they are now is the result of what the school was teaching them. Where I am now is a result of the school not teaching me that. So please understand, if you want to make loads of money, it isn't going to be in school. I don't give a fuck if it's a private school. Ooh, yeah, loads of money, you get better education. Bollocks. It doesn't matter. Everything they teach you is going to take you to a simple place in the world, and it is employee land. So that's lesson 1. I already knew this. I think you already knew it too, but I am living proof. I am the one person that has left that institution that's making loads of fucking money off my own back. I also happen to be the only person in that institution which got kicked out of that institution and therefore was not allowed or able to learn the resources they were pushing down everyone else's throat. So whatever they were teaching them has led them to where they are. Whatever they didn't teach me made me learn my own shit, which has led me to where I am. Lesson 1. Okay, so whatever you're learning in school, I don't give a fuck what it is. It ain't gonna make you rich. But you already knew that, but I'm just living proof of that. Secondly, I didn't have many friends, because I was a bit of a dickhead, but I did have a couple. As I got expelled, like that, they basically stopped being friends with me. Now, can I blame them? Probably not. I mean, I got expelled. You don't want to be affiliated with me. It's probably bad on your name. Everyone's going to be like, why are you still friends with him, etc., etc. So I can, to a degree, understand. I have a couple of loyal friends that I'm still friends with to this day. But a lot of them just bounced. Never heard from them. I'd send them messages, yo man, let's meet up, etc., etc. Didn't give a fuck. Ghosted me. Left my life. And I thought this was cliche. But let me tell you this. 2 weeks ago, actually listen to that, 10 days ago, I was literally about to fly home from Spain. As I'm on the fucking plane, showing my extravagant life in Spain, because I make money and I can do whatever the fuck I want now, I get a message from someone I haven't heard from in 6 years. And he's replied to one of my stories and he goes, hey man, see you're killing it, we should meet up sometime. I thought this was too cliche to be true. Because you know when people say, oh, you know when you make loads of money and then all your friends that want your friends come back and because they want to be having a good life because now you're having a good life. I thought, yeah, maybe, not to that degree. It's not that blatant. Maybe a little bit, but it's not that fucking upfront. Yeah, you're now doing well, so I want to be friends with you again. Bro, didn't hear from him for 6 years, and then he sees him doing well, out of fucking nowhere, for no reason, says, hey man, how you doing? See you in Spain. Oh yeah, we should link up sometime. Please understand, the friends you have now, don't just listen to me while I say this. Please listen to me now. While I'm saying this, think of the friends you have now, the people you consider your friends, that you corroborate with on a daily basis. Which of them do you genuinely think would still be your friend if shit hit the fan? If your life went south suddenly, you lose your job, you go to jail, you get expelled from school, you get fucking you get allegations for something absolutely obscene, I don't care what it is, something bad happens in your life. Which of your friends would stay with you? Because I'm telling you now, if something bad happens in your life, and then you make it big, some of them are going to switch, and some of them are going to be with you the whole time. And I'm grateful for that because I didn't really know who my friends were until that happened. Now I know who my genuine friends are. Like I can leave 50 grand with you, go away for a year, and I know it will still be there. I don't even have to count it because when I had nothing, they were there, and now I have something, they're still here. But some of them disappeared when I had nothing and are now showing up when I have something. So keep that in mind. That's lesson 2. Lesson 1, everything you learn is not going to make you money when you go to school. Lesson 2, understand that some people are in your life basically based on how good your life is. If your life is shit, they'll disappear. If your life is good, they'll reappear. That's how it is. And lesson 3, which is kind of ironic, but something I did realize. This isn't just about getting expelled. This is about anything in life. If you hit like a rock bottom event in your life, please understand, when I got expelled from school, I had literally, like, my future was over. Like, all I could do was play golf, but the only way I could play golf was by my coach, and my coach was at that school, so I couldn't learn, so I couldn't get any better. I didn't have any qualifications, I didn't have any fucking A-levels, I was fucked, right? When your life hits rock bottom, it's almost a blissful experience. It's almost euphoric. And the reason for that is because when you're down here, you can't go any fucking lower, meaning you can only go up. And I know that's cliche and really ironic, but when you hit rock bottom, or maybe you're at it now, maybe you are at not an ideal moment in your life, maybe you're watching this and something bad has happened, you're in a bad situation, understand, yeah, as bad as that is, please understand, you have nothing to lose now. You have something that most people don't have. Most people have something to lose. If they take a big risk play and it doesn't pay off, they might be fucked. What do you have? You're rock bottom. You have nothing to lose. Meaning that you can take all the big risks, and what's going to happen? You're going to go lower? You can't go any fucking lower. I could have taken out a loan and fucking tried it on something and lost all the money and been in debt. I didn't have any money anyway. What? I'm going to have negative money? Who gives a fuck? I have no money in the first place. When you're at rock bottom, all you can do is go up. So everything you try can only have a positive outcome because it's not going to get any fucking worse, is it? So understand that when you're at rock bottom, like I was when I got expelled, didn't think I'd have anything to fucking do in the rest of my future. I was like, you know what? As bad as this is, it can't really get much worse. So anything I do now is only going to take me up, right? If you think like that, it gives you this superpower where you're like, okay, I can try this. Okay, it didn't work. Don't worry, I'm in the same place. Oh, I can try this. Didn't work. Oh, I can try this. Didn't work. Eventually, you'll try something, and it will work, okay? So that's basically how I got expelled and some of the lessons I learned along the way. Now, I'm not endorsing you to be a dickhead at school. If you're watching this and you're still in school, be a good person in school, but just be diligent and perceptive enough to understand that everything you're being taught is not for the betterment of your bank account. People that are in your life are only going to be in your life depending on how good your life is. And if you have a shit experience in your life and you're going through something shit now, you're kind of winning, because from there on you can try everything and you're not going to get anything in this world without risking some shit. Okay? I hope that makes sense. If you have any more in-depth questions, leave a comment. I'll try and get to some of them. Obviously now, since that 6 years have passed, I'm doing all right. But please understand, I do not come from an educational background. My entire childhood was completely corrupt because I didn't give a fuck about learning shit. I knew it was all bullshit. I wanted to be a professional golfer. I got expelled, hit rock bottom, realized I had nothing to lose, and from that was able to build back up. And now all my friends are my actual friends. Okay? Hope that helped. Who the fuck has been messaging me?